See how it's all fluffy and it stays on top of the vermiculite. It's not sinking in. Hey guys, you ready to come in? Yeah? It's Tish from Python Spawn. Come on in. Today's video is about making your egg boxes for when your female ball pythons lay. Before we get into all of that, here's a shout out for Jungle Bob's Reptile World. They're our local reptile store in Long Island, New York, so give them a follow on Instagram and check out their website. So the first thing I want to get into is the type of bins to use. Everybody has their own preference. Not everybody uses Easy Hatch trays. So when it comes to Easy Hatch trays, I get mine from Amazon, if anybody's wondering. And they're simply going to go right on top of the vermiculite. And that's what I use for my substrate. These fit perfectly into these bins that I found at Target. These bins took me a little while to find. But the bins are 14 1/8 long, 7 3/4 width, and 4 7/8 high. And they're, I mean, perfect. As you can see, they're perfect for the Easy Hatch trays. So I'm gonna let you take a look at that. So the first thing we do, I sanitize everything. I'll put it under hot water and sanitize with soap and water. And then once that, as you can see, it's still wet. Once that's good to go and I know that it's sanitized, I'm gonna grab my vermiculite. I have a lot of it. You can get that at any Home Depot or Lowe's. It's a big bag for like 20 bucks. So this is gonna last me a really long time. I'm just gonna open that up and get that ready. The most important thing I like to do is put gloves on. Only because it just eliminates, or sort of eliminates. There's always something that can go into the vermiculite, but I just want to decrease my chances of any extra germs that are gonna be used that might go into the vermiculite and when the ball python eggs are incubating. So I kind of do like a 1 part to 1 part, meaning I have this cup of vermiculite and I fill it to the top and I'll just pour it in there. I'll do 2 of these cups. That's pretty much all you need. You can add or subtract as much as you want, same with water. Just shake that up a bit. As you can see, it's good to go. The next thing you're going to need is water. What I do is I keep room temperature water or something similar. If you're going to use like sink water or anything like that, just make sure it's not too hot, especially if you're about to put the brand new eggs into that. I would stick to room temperature water. So what I have behind the camera, I have an Igloo 5-gallon drinking dispenser. So I'm just going to fill that up because it's already room temperature. And you're just gonna pour it around. You want it to be just right. You don't want it too watery, you don't want it too dry. You need enough moisture for it to be in there. The moisture I keep at between 95 and 100. Just get more water. Like I said, I usually do like 2 parts. 1 part water, 1 part vermiculite. So just put that in there. So it's pretty heavy. So now this is why I like to use gloves. Now you just mix it around. Like I said, you can add more vermiculite. The reason I don't mind too much water and I have a little bit extra water is because I do have the Easy Hatch tray, so the eggs are never going to touch it. You never want your eggs to actually touch the wet part of anything, of the vermiculite, condensation on the sides. the press and seal on the top that has condensation. You don't want the eggs to touch any of that. So just make sure that the eggs can never touch it, whether you're using Easy Hatch trays or something else. It's still a little watery for my taste, so I'm just going to put a little bit more. And just squish it around. I'm going to show you really quick. I'll even it out. And then when you grab it, you can squeeze and there's not a lot of water. And that's perfect for me. It's really, really easy to set these boxes up. Then what you do, you'll put the Easy Hatch tray right inside of it. Press it down. And I'm going to show you real quick a close-up version of it. Now that it's a little closer, as you can see, you can manipulate it, move it around. It is a little watery. I like my humidity high. So you just even it out. And when I mean when you grab it and you see a little bit of water, see that? A lot of people don't like it like that, but I do, because the Easy Hatch will never touch it. None of the eggs will ever touch it. So I just keep it like that. It just prevents me from having to put water and disturbing the eggs in the middle of incubation. So once that's good, I'm going to grab the Easy Hatch tray like I showed you before. We're just going to place it in there. So even if this sinks down a significant amount, it's never going to touch. It's never ever going to touch the eggs. Again, you still have to worry about the eggs touching the sides and the top of the press and seal. But you just make sure that when you put the eggs in it. So I'm going to show you. As you can see, never touches. There's about an inch and maybe an inch and a quarter gap. And when you look inside, they still have plenty of room on the bottom, so it's never gonna seep through. And then when that's done, all you do is, I'm just gonna bring the camera back a little bit so I can work. There we go. Great. Then all you do is you grab your press and seal. You don't need a crazy amount, just to put there on the top and cover it. You just want to make sure that there's enough press and seal. And just press all the corners. Nice good seal. Tuck this under. Again, just a nice, good, clean seal. There you go. So grab the bin. I don't like that this is still, it's a little wet, so I'm just going to dry it off a bit. There we go. You don't want to add to the condensation on the top, but the press and seal. And you just let it mold and close the top. And your bin is ready. Ready for your eggs. Then you just pop it into the incubator. So I did end up adding some more vermiculite. I don't know if you can see that. But I did end up adding some more vermiculite. It was a little watery. And remember, you can do that. So if you feel like it's too watery or if it's too dry, add water, add vermiculite, add water, and everything will be fine. As long as it looks like that, and there's not too much water, then you're good. See how it's all fluffy and it stays on top of the vermiculite, it's not sinking in. can see on both sides, nothing is sinking in. You still have plenty of room to put the eggs and they won't touch the top. They won't touch the sides. And that is a perfect bin. There is one thing I like to tell people because I didn't know it when I was first into ball pythons last year. I was freaking out. I didn't know what to do. So what I do with one of my bins, the probe that's connected to the incubator, I'll put, instead of putting it on the tape inside of the incubator, I'm gonna put it in the box. So I used a soldering iron to poke a hole through one incubator box, and then I placed the probe right about the middle of the bin, so that I know that in that box it's 90 degrees. One box. Then the rest of them will follow. So as long as I know that one box inside is 90 degrees, the rest should be 90 degrees. I do have these little white these white humidity and temperature gauges. I'll show you. They're called Lofi, and you can check on everything online, or you can have the Herpstat spider web, which tracks it for you on your phone. So I use this, and I'm getting the Herpstat 2 spider web for the incubators. I also keep that Govi in here to track the humidity and temperature inside of the snake shed. So there it is, finished product. Again, if you do want to use Easy Hatch trays, try to get that bin. That bin is really important. I found it at Target and I wiped them out. I took them all. Hey YouTube, looks like you're done with my first how-to video, how to set up an incubator box. I really appreciate you guys watching. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Get me to 1K on Instagram. I'd appreciate it. We also have sticker swaps, don't forget. Link below, how to contact me for that. Till next week, YouTube, have a good night. That was terrible. We got stickers. Get them. Sticker swap. I like it. Anyway, so next week, YouTube, have a good one.